welcome back. My name is Allison with Baby Stepping to Freedom. Today we are going to talk about sacrifices that my husband Aaron and I made during our debt-free journey. If you're new here, you may not know that Aaron and I paid off $125,000 worth of debt in 28 months. That was mainly following the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover baby steps. If you are unfamiliar with that program, take a look at some of the videos on my channel. Also, linked down below is the book, The Total Money Makeover. I highly suggest that you read The Total Money Makeover if you are interested in learning how to pay off debt. Part of paying off debt is making sacrifices. You have to change your way of life. You can't keep living the way that you were living when you got into debt. That's just the nature of the beast. That it takes some sacrifice, it takes some life changes, and it takes some patience to pay off debt and learn how to change your way of life to become financially free. So in this video, I will talk about some of the sacrifices that we made during our debt-free journey. These are just a few, honestly, of the ones that I could think of. I'm sure there's a lot more things that I don't even realize were sacrifices, because this process just makes you change the entire way of life that you're living. And some of the things that we did, I might not even see as a sacrifice that someone else might think, wow, that is a big sacrifice. So these are just things that I could come up with. First and foremost, the biggest thing that we did was cut out every single non-essential thing that cost us money. So things like cable TV, that's a huge one that I think people don't even realize how much they're really spending. Now, I know some people who are on their debt-free journey doing great, by the way, and still have cable TV. And if you can work it in and it's worth it to you, great. But for us, it was a big expense that we felt was not necessary and freed up a good chunk of money for us to put towards debt. So we cut out cable TV first and foremost. We also cut out our phone bill. Well, we cut out the phone bill that we had. We downgraded cell phone plans. We went from, I think, Verizon to Sprint, and we slashed our bill in half. That was like the promo that was going on when we switched to Sprint. But it was a big sacrifice for us because it made it so we hardly had any phone service ever. And it was also one of the things that we got rid of as soon as we became debt-free, because it was a sacrifice that we were not willing to continue with. We did not like our time with Sprint, but we had it for 2 years. Yeah, we had it for 2 years and then we got rid of it. But that was a huge sacrifice for us because it was rough to not have phone service like half of the places that we went. Anyways, slashed our phone bill, but also slashed every single thing else. It was a good sacrifice because it also freed up like $100 a month for debt payments. Other non-essentials were things like going out to eat. We rarely went out to eat during our debt-free journey. And one thing that we stopped doing was buying clothes that we didn't need. So we did buy clothes during our debt-free journey because we needed some stuff. But if I went to a store and I saw something, I was like, ooh, that's real cute. That's real cute. I want that. Nope. I did not get it if I did not need it. So just learning needs versus wants was huge for us. If we needed something, great, we bought it. If it was a want and we really did not need it, we didn't buy it. And that was a change in our way of life, and it was a big learning process for us. Something else that we did during our debt-free journey that many people don't do is we didn't include personal money for ourselves. We did have what we called our miscellaneous fund that we started about a year into our debt-free journey that was mainly for things that we forgot about. But personal money that we had just for whatever we wanted to spend it on, some people call it blow money or whatever, we did not do until we became debt-free. So that was something that helps a lot of people in their debt-free journey, but we decided to take the route of if there was something that was coming up that we could kind of anticipate that we wanted to spend money on, we first thought about if it was necessary to spend our money on it, and then if so, we cash flowed it. So that was kind of how we worked in personal money for things that came up, but we did not have a personal money category in our budget until we became debt free. And that was a big sacrifice for us too. We also excluded ourselves from many things that we wanted to do that would cost us money. And this was just learning to say no. We got invited to dinners, we got invited to weddings, we got invited to other events, and it was just like, that's gonna cost me money, and my goals right now are worth more to me than wanting to go to this dinner or this event. So saying no was a huge sacrifice that we had to learn. It hurt, it still hurts. We still say no to things when it just doesn't work with our plans. But we've learned now to just kind of accept that we can't live that way of just dropping everything and going to do something to spend money that is not budgeted for. But in the beginning, that's how we lived our life, and it was really hard for us to learn how to say no. But we did, and that's part of what made us successful. Another thing we did was we took zero, count them, zero vacations. We maybe went on like a little day trip here and there, but we did not go on any vacations during our debt-free journey. Before starting our debt-free journey, we actually went on vacation every single year. Even when we were both students, we put it on credit cards, we went on vacation every year. And we have not taken a real flying somewhere, staying a while vacation since right before we started our debt-free journey. We actually had a trip that we had to go on for a family wedding to Mexico, and that's actually our starting point of our debt-free journey because we cash flowed that vacation when we started, and as soon as we got home, we took the money that we had left over from that trip and we started putting it towards debt. And from then on, we never took any more vacations as we were paying off debt. Finally, what I think is probably our biggest sacrifice and really what hurt us the most is our car situation. If you have not watched my video on our car, Giselle, I highly recommend you check it out because that car sacrifice was hard for us. It was never ending. It cost us money and it hurt, but in the long run, it really helped us to drive an old beater car and not have a car payment. Essentially, our entire debt-free journey, we had no car payments. Okay, the first 6 months we had a car payment. Then we sold our car. We bought an old crappy beater that was tons of problems. And from then on out, we didn't have a car payment. And it did help us along the process. And it was sometimes embarrassing. Sometimes Aaron had to take my car to things that was important because my car was a little nicer than his car, which his car was Giselle. My car is a 2007 Yaris. So he felt a little better driving my car than the 98 Civic. But that was a huge sacrifice for us and one that we would not make again, maybe not that car. We might, looking back, downgrade cars, but not downgrade that much. But still, we powered through and we kept that car until we couldn't keep it any longer. So these are just a few of the sacrifices, like I said, that I can think of. It doesn't even include day-to-day sacrifices of like living life on a budget and having cash that we only use to spend money and not using our debit card. Those kinds of everyday sacrifices that I don't really even count on my mind as sacrifices. So these are just like the big notable ones that I can think of. But were these sacrifices worth it? For sure. Because even though these sacrifices hurt in the moment, long term, it's worth it because they are helping us get to the place where we want to be in our future financially, being able to have the freedom to retire early, have the freedom to buy a new car when we need one, having the freedom to pay for an emergency that comes up that we weren't expecting, take time off work, quit our job, whatever it is. That's really what we want more than a nice car, cable TV, fast phone service, anything like that. Also, these sacrifices helped us learn a lot. Learning to say no, learning to put our future before what feels good right now, learning wants versus needs. That is huge for us and really helped us have all the success that we had when paying off debt. So if you are currently on your debt-free journey, or if you are debt-free and still living that sacrifice life, leave me a comment below and let me know some of the sacrifices that you have made to better your future. Things that maybe don't feel good in the moment, but you know long-term, that's what you need to do. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, press subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos that are to come. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.